Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to November 2019. It's fall. Happy Scorpio season. Okay. A lot of Scorpio activity for you, and that means 12th house activity, right? Sun coming through there always illuminates parts of our subconscious. Mercury retrograde is definitely going to uncover some things hidden down in that basement of yours. And Mars coming into your sign in late November, right after we move into Sagittarius season, is going to keep you in that 12th house, imaginative, idyllic, love for everyone kind of space, but also there's a delusionary quality, so it's going to be very important to keep yourself grounded, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at what your energy is for the month. Coming out as the King of Cups. Heart on your sleeve. This is very watery, right? Very 12th house. There's love here, okay? And it doesn't have to be romantic love. It's just love, like the big umbrella energy. And I think the King of Cups has a very driven nature. He's hyper creative at this time. He has this way about him that is both open and reserved, which is perfect Sagittarius, right? Very extroverted, but also very introverted at the same time, which is kind of, one of the anomalies about Sagittarian energy. You have this ability to go through all ends of the spectrum, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You have this extremist kind of nature about you because of the Scorpio right before you. And I see you living in balance with both. I see you accomplishing within the world, financially, romantically, with your families, with your material goals. And I see you succeeding spiritually and emotionally as well. There's a shedding that takes place always every year during Scorpio season. And here we have this ability to come into a point of clarity that we wouldn't have come into in the months prior. So there's stability, but also it's like, I think on some level, Sagittarius might be a bit unavailable for people coming out here. Intuitively, what I'm feeling when I'm looking at this card, I'm feeling like people really want to touch your heart. They really want to connect with you. And yet what you are wanting, Sagittarius, is something so deep that it might be hard for you to feel satisfied. The depth of the King of Cups is so deep. It's like so deep to the point where it's like that part where the ocean becomes black because the water is so dense and it's so deep that water or that light cannot penetrate that far. So you seem to be operating in that dark place of the ocean, and wanting someone to really meet you there and to discover this completely unseen, unknown world. That's 12th house stuff, guys. And it's very real. It is temporary. So this might be a season where people are like, Sagittarius, I don't even know you. Like, who are you this month? You're like a completely different person. And you're probably just going to have to be like, yeah, like this is my subconscious self. This is who I am behind the scenes. This is my driver. The driver is kind of stepping into the spotlight here. And, I think people are going to see a whole new color on you. And it's going to be really beautiful for some. And some are going to be up for the challenge. And others are going to get real scared and run away. And those people that are running away from this kind of new demand that Sagittarius has, it was their time to go. That's it. 12th house, right? Whatever needs to go is gone. It's the house of our undoing. So friendships fall by the wayside. Romantic partnerships that aren't working fall by the wayside or go through a major transformation. And it's time. And I think you feel really good about it. The energy around you right now is indicated by a major arcana card, is the Chariot card. It's ascension, and we can't help but ascend as a collective, given the Pluto-Saturn thing, given the Age of Aquarius thing that we're going through right now. So, it's all happening all around us. It's just that certain individuals are going a little bit... they're a little bit more open, and I think that you're one of the people that is just a little bit more open, okay, or one of the signs. The Chariot is so wonderful in terms of like moving mountains. And that's what I think Sagittarius is going to be doing this month, is genuinely moving mountains. You'll be removing obstacles that in the past were so overbearing and so gigantic and so seemingly impossible. And now you have this wherewithal to just simply climb over them, you know. And this is not going to be a month where I'm going to tell you to just be fluid and go around and do it this way, you know, and just relax and it's okay. Like, no, that's not what I'm going to tell you. This month is a month of putting in effort. Put in the effort, right? Scorpio is a Mars-ruled archetype. So you put in the effort, you put in the drive, you put in the time, you put in the money, you put in the attention, whatever it is, whatever the cost is, and you reap the reward. Okay, so, I mean, there's no question in my mind that Sagittarius will be reaping the reward if they put something into it. Okay, you will move the mountain, but you have to start digging, okay? And it's got to be one day at a time. It's very slow energy right now. It's very paced. We have this sense of, you know, carrying our tools on our back. Like it's time. It's go time, right? Who's up for the battle? All right. Now, let's get into the kind of the smaller stuff. That's kind of all the high level energy. And now we have the Page of Cups, which tells me that communication will be fluid. It will be flowing. It is Mercury retrograde. So this is a positive indication that Mercury retrograde might actually enhance some of your communications. It might enable you to speak and to say the things that need to be said. And again, the King of Cups is, you know, highly authentic. All right. So it's going to be your authentic self, your authentic needs that are expressed. And I see that there's going to be some, you know, reciprocity. So if there's a special someone, I'm not going to say they'll be able to meet you in that darkness of the ocean, okay? They might not be able to meet you there, but they'll at least be open to really hearing you and to seeing what you have to say. They're interested in learning more about you in a way that you were previously interested in getting to know them. So don't be afraid to be open and communicative. If some of you are expecting an apology, because I often see this coming through as an apology, or someone saying like, you know, I really regret that decision. Like, I'm so sorry, you know, I'm so sorry I left. It was the biggest mistake of my life. That kind of thing, that often comes through with the Page of Cups. Not always, but coupled with the Mercury retrograde, it's possible that some of you may have a conversation like that as well. And it's unexpected in the same way that we would never expect a fish to be delivering us a message, right? So it will be something unexpected. I know you'll be grateful for that, and I know that it will give you a sense of relief. Some of you might feel vindicated. Some of you might feel, you know, like, thank God, I'm so happy this happened. And it will give you a sense of peace as you are kind of chugging away here with your Chariot energy. Some of you may be dealing with another water sign, right? You may be dealing with another Scorpio or a Cancer or a Pisces. Let's see. Ooh, the Scorpionic energy. I don't care what anybody says. It's change is change, and change is inevitable at this time. So the Death card right now, as I chose a little autumn kind of backdrop this month. I just got it yesterday because I wanted to like really talk about, okay, the leaves now, right? I was just in Vermont a couple weeks ago and we went to go look at the foliage, and you start seeing the beauty. It's just like a brief, like 1 to 2 week period where all the leaves change, and then one day the wind blows and all the leaves come crashing down. It's very fragile. You know, the energy is very fragile, and the death process is actually in this particular moment in time, as we speed up toward Capricorn season, it's quite rapid. And so things are going to be dropping like flies left and right, and any thing that has not served is going to be just falling away. And relationships that have hit roadblocks are either going to end or they are going to transform, and it's going to depend on the consciousness level of both parties. One person cannot do that alone. So if one person is ascending and the other person is not, it is likely that that relationship will come to a close. And, gratefully so, because then you'll be able to attract someone who is more on your consciousness level, who's willing to teach you and to learn from you. And there's going to be a sense of relief, I think, that comes with the ending of those kinds of relationships. See, this is exactly what's happening. You're heading into the good things. This death is taking you right into spring. Okay, so we know that spring is coming, and we know that with the perceived death, obviously we know that death is not really a thing, but the perceived death, the perceived ending of the cycle is in fact bringing us forward into a whole new season. And that's clearly obvious as to what's happening with these two cards. Like, even a novice who knows nothing about tarot can look at this and say, like, oh, okay, that horse is going straight into the 10 of Cups. Okay, so we know that there are fruitful rewards for you. The 10 of Cups is usually more along the lines of emotional fulfillment and satisfaction, feelings of gratitude and abundance, rather than financial reward. However, when we feel all of those feelings that I just said, financial reward is usually easier, okay? And money is attracted to gratitude. Like attracts like. When you're operating in the frequency of abundance, abundance can't help but find you. So don't be surprised if money starts to come in, okay? There's both the moving away and the coming together, and the coming in with the new. Same thing as I even named the Scorpio reading, endings and beginnings, because they're happening simultaneously. And with whatever it is that you're doing to move away from all the things that have been so comfortable for so long, like, there's no reason to have any sense of fear. Like, a King of Cups is never, ever, ever afraid, right? This is the Scorpio energy that you are coming out with right now at this time. And that Scorpio part of you is the least afraid of any part of you, okay? And it's the part of you that can go incredibly deep, incredibly high. It's the part of you that's not afraid of the pain. It's not afraid of the loss. It's not afraid of the intensity. And that's what gives the Sagittarian, vibe its whole, like, carefreeness, because it's like, what? There's nothing I can't handle. There's really nothing. So what is there to be afraid of anyway? So as you head into the night in this energy, okay, in this card, I see enthusiasm. I see excitement and kind of a wonderful sense of adventure. That there's nothing scary about the night. There's nothing scary about moving away from what's comfortable. There's nothing scary about the mountains and about the hard work. And no, there is nothing scary. And the Hanged Man. When it comes out right under death, the way it did, okay, this is, you'll see when I put the camera down. When it comes out right under death, it tells me that there's something to learn here. Okay, this card is, highly reminiscent of the story of Odin, if you're familiar with the mythology, right? Odin, kind of like the Zeus, I think of the Norse mythology, who is hanging up on the tree and then finds the runes, right? And it's through his, I think 9 days he was hanging upside down on the tree, and said, I am not going to leave this tree until I understand more about life, until I understand more about these symbols and these runes. And this is when the runes really came to him as, these kind of oracle tools, okay? So there's kind of like, it's not even that you are being suspended by external forces right now. Sometimes I see it like that, but right now I don't. It's the choice. Like you saying, I'm not going to get up off this tree until I understand this. until I have a new level of consciousness. It's kind of like you telling yourself to ascend. So you're in the driver's seat here. Like I was saying, like your subconscious self is in the driver's seat. So you're completely in command, and your body and your life and your emotional state is going to simply follow orders. And these orders are coming from the depth of your very soul. So this hanged man is not that there's just a delay because it's delayed. It's not that, you're in a state of suspension or you're waiting for anything. Like, no, you're choosing to be here. You're choosing to walk into the night, into the darkness, right? The hanged man and the death card with the nighttime energy of the Eight of Cups, that's not coincidence, right? That is you purposely and faithfully walking into the evening light so that you can grow. You're putting yourself on the chopping block because you want to know, because you're willing to sacrifice the moment for the sake of the greater good. Okay, so this is going to benefit and change a lot of your relationships, and there are a lot of people that are not going to understand you. Did I say this at the beginning of the reading? Maybe I didn't. Where it's going to be one of those months where people look at Sagittarius and they're like, oh my God, like I don't even know you. Like, who are you? Did I say that? Maybe I did. I don't remember. Who are you, Sagittarius? I don't even know you. You're a completely different person. What is going on? Why is this happening? And you just kind of sit there quietly on your throne, or rather within your chariot, and say, it doesn't concern you. And I think it's not going to concern a lot of people. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are going to fall away, because they just simply can't understand it. The Justice card, which looks good with the background. Justice, as things come into balance. Somehow you seem to know that you're not in balance, which is why you are taking the risk, why you're taking this dark path. Because you know that this is possible and you know that this is on the way, but only if you call it to you. The Ten of Cups can only come to you if you call it to you, okay? If you command that it's in your life. Justice is kind of like what I always say, the governor of the natural law. The natural laws of science, natural laws of physics, and just the natural laws of gender, polarity, vibration, correspondence, all these kind of hermetic laws. And as we talk about resonance, okay, as you do a manifestation, as you send out a desire out into the universe, boom, the Justice card is what ensures that that comes back to you. So what's happening is things are starting to come back to you. So you are operating with a high level of awareness of what you're sending out. This is someone who's operating in consciousness, by the way. Your choice to be here, your choice, because this is what's happening. I didn't hold the cards up like this. You're literally walking into the hanged man, right? By choice. So you chose to hang on the tree. And in a way, your stubbornness is going to be doing you a lot of favors in that. So every thought, every action will beget a consequence, and you are operating in awareness of that, which is good. Most people don't. Most people just do things and hope for the best. They just say things and hope for the best. And they don't think about it as like cause and effect. Most people don't. Okay. This is going to be the part of you. This is your demon right now. This is the part of you that wants to go back to what's comfortable. You're kind of facing things eye to eye here. Do you walk into the darkness, which I'm pretty sure like 90% of you are going to do this? Or do you allow your fear and your doubt to take you back to where you've always been? It's a battle of you against yourself right now. I'm sorry to say. No one else's energy is coming out right now because it has nothing to do with anybody else. It has only to do with you. So your marriage, your relationships, your job, your coworkers, your children, your friends, they are not of consequence right now. And any fears and doubts that you have are going to try to hold you back. And that's why your consciousness of pushing forward into the very uncomfortable part of life is going to reap rewards very quickly. Okay? There could have been something externally that happened, but that thing, let's say you got cheated on, right? Because this is often like a card of deceit, or someone stole money, right? Someone two-timed you, someone did something kind of negative to you. Okay, so there you are, having had that negative experience, but that was so incredibly purposeful to get you to where you are going. You know, so when you start looking at your negative experiences as blessings, your whole life changes. That's one of the things. There's this little book that I talk about actually all the time. It was an underwhelming book. It wasn't my favorite book, but it's called Zen and the Art of Happiness. But I will say that it changed my life in the way that it's like, if you look at everything as being the best possible outcome or the best possible thing that ever could have happened to you, then there's never going to be such thing as a bad thing. There's never going to be such thing as a bad experience. Even if someone gets sick, or if someone passes away, or, you know, if there was a horrible accident or something like that, that it is always good. And even just the choice to think of it that way is like such a powerful process of learning how to choose to think that way. Okay. Because you don't know where this is all going. That's the whole thing. The Ten of Cups is here to tell you that it's going to work out. But the details of this are very fuzzy and it's all very hazy, all right? Your Chariot seems to be guiding you, but all of this stuff, this Eight of Cups, this Hanged Man, this Death card and all of this is the process of you getting in the Chariot and you saying, okay, higher self, okay, subconscious, okay, all-knowing third eye. I trust that you know where you're going. So I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to get into this Chariot. I'm going to get in, but you have to make sure I get there. Okay, so while as much as we would like to think that you're in control of these two driving forces right now, I'm kind of feeling like these sphinxes are actually guides and helpers and guardian angels around you right now that are taking you where you need to be, and yet you have absolutely no idea. That's why it's like that choice of like, I'm going to walk in and I'm going to go hang myself on that tree and just kind of like have faith that the knowledge is going to come to me. I'm going to have faith that the details are going to work themselves out. It's hard, and that's sometimes not the best advice, but right now that just seems to be what you're doing, or throughout the course of Scorpio season. And then any kind of confusion that you have, you know, I do think that you're going to continually question. It is the 12th house. So there's always that whole, like, what am I doing with my life? Where is this all going? What is the meaning of this? What's the point? All these sort of existential crises questions that are going to be inescapable during a 12th house transit. Let's not forget, right? Sun comes through 12th house. Mercury retrograde in the 12th house. Mars comes into the 12th house, I think on the 19th or the 20th or something like that of November. So then you're going to have 2 months after that with Mars in the 12th. So this is going to be a period of time where just a lot of questions come up. And that's okay. And I think you're going to fall short in terms of getting the answers for yourself. You're going to fall short. This is going to be one of those months where you look back on it 6 months from now and it completely makes sense. But when you're making your way through it, you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, what does all of this mean? Why am I having to deal with this right now? And it can just feel so like flimsy. I don't know of a better word to really describe it. That's why this card is so beautiful for you, because you are still going to be moving forward. You are going to be moving mountains, even if you have no clue why you're wanting to move the mountains. Okay? It's a test of limitation. Wow, he looks really orange in that card. That backdrop is totally messing with all the color settings on my camera. But we have this limitation. We have the essence of, okay, Sagittarius, are you going to do it? You know, I often see him as our coach. He's not the cheerleader. He's the coach, right? He's the one that pushes you. He's the one that makes you, you know, stick to a regimen. He's the one that makes you stay on track, stay on time. And he's the one that makes sure that you don't get down off that tree until you know. And this is going to be a test of like, okay, how long can you sustain it before the temptation to revert back to the comfortable stuff gets a hold of you, gets its talons in you, and kind of brings you back? I think this is a real test of Sagittarius's commitment to themselves, commitment to their growth. I'm sorry, I know this is biblical, and I have a hard time bringing any religious stuff into these readings, but I'm reminded of the story of when Jesus was in the desert by himself for 40 days and had the devil influence say, look, all this can be yours if you just give up right now. Like, all of this could be yours. Everything here, you know, I think he tested him with like food and money and water or something else. So like, that's kind of the essence of the presence of this devil here. And the presence, actually more so the Seven of Swords rather than the devil. The devil is actually what's going to carry you through. It's going to give you that ability to apply yourself. This is not flimsy commitment to growth and success. This is where you really put the pedal to the metal, Sagittarius, and you change your life in a good way. 10 of Cups, in a really, really, really good way. Relationships will get better. Money will get better. Happiness will get better, right? All these things will get better. Sorry, now I'm just kind of messing up my words. Let's go ahead and put the camera down. Okay, this is going to be the close of the first half of the reading. If you want to join me for the comprehensive, I'll put the camera down and you can see what cards will come out that we'll talk about, and I'll pull a couple oracle cards as well. Thank you guys so much for everything. I wish you nothing but the best. Have an excellent Scorpio season. Just keep going. That's all. Just keep going. Let's make our way through Capricorn season. I think this is going to be a longer term story. It's not just November, right? It's a carry through, it's a carryover story. So good luck, and I will see you next month. Thanks. Okay, Sagittarius. So here you can see how all the cards laid out. So I'm going to actually focus first on the King of Cups. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about this energy. I'm going to pull an astrology card and a moonology card, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look and see what additional information you need to know about you. What do you need to know about you, Sagittarius? Okay, the energy of Virgo, which is an especially relevant energy for you, by the way, because Virgo rules your midheaven, all right? So out in the world, as you interact with individuals, you do take on a very Virgo-esque kind of vibe, especially if you're a Sagittarian ascendant, okay? So Virgo is one of service. It's an energy, again, ruled by Mercury, so the mercurial aspects of everything. Now, the Virgo Mercury, unlike the Gemini Mercury, which is all about making connections and information and having kind of little bits of knowledge here and there, the Virgo energy is about getting real deep. And this is kind of where Scorpio and Virgo really meet and how these energies really jive together, because they both dig very deep. Virgo in a highly analytical capacity, okay? So it's like, I'm not going to quit until I know. Sometimes that's to your detriment, but ultimately in this particular instance and with these cards, I think that it's the Virgo energy mixed with the Saturnian nature of the devil, right, which is very Capricornian. Is that a word, Capricornian? Very Capricorn, which is going to keep you suspended for the right amount of time, okay? Because you're going to know when it's time to get off this tree. Okay, you're going to know when that knowledge has come to you, but you're going to need the stamina to hang there for a little while longer than you probably would like, okay? You're going to need to get through the discomfort. You're going to need to get through what needs to be done. And Virgo being the workhorse energy, again, when we're talking about moving mountains and climbing over mountains or whatever, like Virgo is going to help you get to the end, right? It's going to take you to the finish line. So as we pull out, okay, you guys, stop it. You're very close to achieving your goal. You're not there yet. You're close, but you're very close. So what is it you're trying to achieve? Are you trying to get married? Are you trying to build that business and have it be profitable? Are you trying to relocate? Are you trying to just be happy, right? Okay, well, it's happening. 10 of Cups is in your cards. It's not like this is some evasive, illusionary energy. Like, no, it's right here. So there's nothing to be afraid of in terms of like, is this going to happen for me? The answer is a resounding yes. Yes, it will. Okay. Yes, it will happen for you. There's no question in my mind. So let's take a look now at the clarifier. So these are going to be the cards we cover in the comprehensive. If you want to join, the link will be in the description box down below. We'll talk for another 20 to 25 minutes. Okay. Let's take a look here. Ooh. One more for the King of Cups. 8 of Cups reversed. Okay. I think you're kind of in this teeter-totter space of like, do I embark on this journey or not? Do I do it or do I not? Right now, the opinions of other people, are going to be a little irrelevant. A lot of Gemini energy coming out. Okay, for the Death card, another King of Cups, another Virgo card, and a 2 of Cups. Let's pull one more for the Death card. Let's see what else for the Death energy. Okay. 10 of Cups, let's take a look. Okay. More cards than I wanted, but that's fine. We'll take a look at the 8 of Cups, Temperance, the Emperor, and the 5 of Coins. 5 of Coins being temporary, okay? Mm-hmm. 10 of Cups, 10 of Coins. What did I say? The money follows. Do not let a lack of money dissuade you from embarking on the journey, okay? The money will show up. That's the magic. 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is the only card I'm really worried about, if I'm being totally honest with you. Yep, okay, got it. Not surprised the 7 of Cups and the Hanged Man came out together. They often come out hand in hand, and it's a brief period of time. Okay, let's look at the Chariot card now. Okay. And the 3 of Swords at the very bottom of the deck. So this is where we'll pick up for the comprehensive. So if you want to join, super happy to have you. If not, I wish you absolutely nothing but the best. Have an excellent Scorpio season, and I'll see you next month. Take care.